Do you think people that can't be alone are weak? 29 female, and I've known a few people throughout my life that just hate doing things alone. Whether it be those people that jump from one relationship to the next, or those people that just need some kind of company when it comes to doing everyday things like getting lunch, going shopping. I'm not sure if I just feel this frustration for those kinds of people because I wonder how they're capable of just jumping into new relationships so easily. Some kind of jealousy. At the same time, I wouldn't feel happy with myself if I just disliked my own company that much and constantly needed someone there to fill that void, whether it's romantic or platonic or company. I'm very much a loner and have been single for pretty much my whole life. I feel like I'm at the point where I'm so used to it that a man will really need to knock my socks off in order for me to consider dating him. In other words, I've done everything on my own, including living alone, etc. Will adding a man to my life be that beneficial? This isn't meant to sound feminist. I feel like I also question these kinds of codependent people because my mom may be one of them. Yes, she's independent, but even she's admitted that she hates doing things alone. Thoughts? And when I say they're weak, I'm talking specifically about this aspect of their life and not overall.
So first and foremost, I don't think she used the right word. I don't think weak is the word I would apply to people who seemingly can't stay alone. And two, we had this conversation like several times, but not once did she mention like friends or strong familial bonds. She says she's been doing everything on her own, and I'm just like, okay, you're doing everything on your own, and then,
but I feel like she means on her own, just like in a romantic sense. I don't feel like she means like
yeah, but like I still think what I'm saying has leverage in the conversation because what I'm alone, you're alone, but like I don't say like I'm a loner because I have such strong relationships with my friends and my family, the Michimaria's family. Okay, like I have such strong relationships. I don't think of myself as a loner, but I know that I think like she's restricted herself in this mentality of if I don't have a romantic partner, I'm a loner. I'm doing life singular. And that's not true because if you have like strong bonds platonically, you're definitely not doing life alone.
That is true.
That is. I was waiting for it to be like, okay, I have friends, but I'm just missing that romantic component. And no, she just.
But I really feel like it's because she just like didn't add that part because I feel like she was really talking like in the romantic sense.
But like she was saying, no, I don't even feel like it's just the romantic sense because she said like people who can go to lunch on their own or shopping on their own, like you don't always, if ever, really get on a romantic partner. You do that with friends and family.
Yeah. That is true. But then regardless of that, I get where she's coming from though, because you do have people that literally genuinely can't do things alone.
That was just the points I was making first and foremost. But I to some extent, I agree with her in the sense that it's people like that are odd to me because it's either one, you've never had the opportunity to be alone, so people were always around you, or two, you make it up an intent never to be alone, and it's just like, girl.
And the intent never, I feel like people who don't like being alone is because they don't, it's really because you don't like yourself, or you don't like the perception of what people will say if they see that you're alone,
Yeah, like they think of, I feel like people, I don't know, when people are by themselves, I wonder if they think of, with no other human body around me, there's an absence of everything. But there's not. You're there. You're filling up space.
That's true. But on the other hand, I don't mind being alone. Like, girl.
Yeah, I answer that because then they're going to be like, you guys, but yeah, but I love it.
But then on the other hand, when I'm out alone, it does feel awkward. Like if I stub my toe and I'm by myself, which is the worst thing ever. But if I stub my toe and I'm with somebody else, both of us can turn to each other and be like, "Bitch, did you just?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I understand wanting company in that way, and I don't think I think it's a weakness if it becomes deliberate. This the word I'm trying to.
Girl, you know what I know what you're talking about.
Things. Anyways. I feel like that's when it becomes a weakness. Like if you literally can't go anywhere by yourself. But I don't think there's anything wrong in wanting company to just like do every day.
But I also feel like there's also two different type of people that like company. You have the people that maybe you and I, if we're doing something public we want friends and family around. Then you have some people, and I don't know if this is actually working. They want people period around them. Like they just need anyone to fill that space, that human connection. And I'm just like, that's not me. Okay, it can't be anybody. Like, I'd rather be by myself, awkward in public, than talk to a stranger.
Yeah, to a stranger, yeah. But I like,
Or an acquaintance.
in public, I like the camaraderie of having somebody there, but only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes, because sometimes I like the feeling of just like wafting around by myself. Yeah, I feel like codependency is the weakness. I feel like it's weak because like you have to be okay with being by yourself.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's also weak to always want to be by yourself. Because I feel like there is something to say for camaraderie and for
strength in that.
Well, exactly.
I feel like if I didn't have the type of people I have in my life, I would be the type of bitch that's like her who ain't got nobody. And then be like, oh my God, I'm so strong being alone. And it's just like, no, bitch.
Exactly.
You really do need people though.
Exactly.
You don't need them all the time. It's a balance, but you do need people.
Comment 1. My brother was like that. He didn't really feel like he existed unless someone else was observing him. I don't expect to understand it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, I will say I understand because I like the feeling of feeling like I don't exist when other people are not observing me.
I don't know if I like this thing, but I know the feeling you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's again that, is it George Berkeley? Don't even be quoting me on. Okay, but that philosopher who's saying that if a tree falls in a forest, did it actually fall? It doesn't make a sound if nobody saw it. So if nobody ever interacts with you when you're outside, are you really there? If nobody really saw you. If someone in the police was supposed to come and be like, did you see so and so? And they can't even tell you nothing. Did you exist?
Exactly. And also, it's freaky to feel like you're not existing, because like I remember like there was a period in my life where literally I was in life, but it didn't feel like I was in life. It just felt like I was watching my life exist. I didn't feel like an actual person. So if that's how that person feels, not interacting with other people,
They're a bit too also in touch with life.
Yeah.
I get it's this whole balance of like, I exist, but I don't exist in a vacuum, right? It's not just me. It's others too. But I also have to remember it is kind of just me. I'm an active participant in how things move along, and sometimes I'm not because certain circumstances. It's just back and forth, right? He looked like he on one end of the spectrum, and he needs to come right in the middle. Come in. Okay, I hope y'all send him to therapy or something.
Comment 2. I mostly get annoyed with the ones who won't do anything alone, that they end up missing out on experiencing things. I tell them I'm going to the movies alone, and they're telling me how absurd it is to them that I'm going alone. I wouldn't necessarily call them weak, just afraid, whether it's social anxiety, afraid to look like an outcast or whatever.
Funny though, I've never been to movies alone, and it's not because like I'm thinking like I need companionship. It's more of, if I want to see a movie, I want other people to like see that. Yeah, but also if I'm, which is it's our fault, because when I do watch a movie, ask anybody, I'm over there kicking and like making jokes the whole time to the movie. I am not a silent watcher to be like, okay. I'm like, bitch, did you see how weak? Like, like that's who I am.
Comment 3. I love being alone. Other people exhaust me. I wasn't always like this. I used to have friends around. I loved dating. I was young in the disco age and loved going dancing. I raised a son and loved having his friends over, not the parents so much. Once he grew up, I had no patience for other people's drama. I work full-time and don't get involved with co-workers' personal lives. I shop alone, go to the movies alone. I'm not afraid of people, I just don't like them.
But get what she has said, but I feel like she too extreme. Because once again, it's so crazy to me for people to be like, they're just like, they can't tell me they got close friendships.
Yeah,
it's so true. Because like when I say close friendship, to whoever listens to this, I'm not saying we're going out every Friday, or we're going on a picnic, or we're going to the movies together, or we're like, I see these bitches once every 3 months, but I'm in constant contact with them. Like maybe I'll speak to them Monday, and then I'll speak to them Friday. It's not even like a phone call or whatever. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Here's this meet or whatever. Like they tell me like, oh bitch, I'm going to this, and then we'll meet up once 3 months as a conference. You know what I mean? Yeah. But these people aren't saying any of that.
I feel like it's too extremes. Like it's bad to be like completely alone, and it's bad to always fuel you, you know?
Like, I don't know, y'all scare me with no friends. I won't even lie to you. I know people with no friends, and those people scare me.
I don't know if it's scare, but like, I don't think it's some kind of a moral failing to not have any friends. Say, for instance, if we, because we live on an island, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly a
That's what we don't believe.
girl. Them at the ear. Oh, so it's not exactly a progressive island, but we have each other, and we have like a little pocket where we can discuss things that are very niche to us. So like, imagine if we were still the way that we are, but we didn't have a group of people around us that were just like us.
Girl.
How would you approach the world?
Girl, like, that literally, my next thought, I would be like, how do you empathize with the world around you if you are a singular person in a vacuum?
That is true. Yeah. How do you do that? And that's the reason why some people don't have friends, because like some people don't want to extend themselves and change themselves just to get like a part of that friendship.
But change is inevitable, but change is also good. Just because you've had friendships and relationships, right? You know, I know stuff in romance stuff, girl, that have changed you for the worse, does not mean that's all that there is. I just feel like I feel like you should take time to heal. And to heal, sometimes that means closing yourself off and doing that. But to do that forever and to never,
I mean, that's not necessarily where I was going. I meant like in the case of being in a very conservative area, but not being a conservative person. So you have to change yourself for the worst and become more conservative and less accepting in order to fit in with these people. That must feel like really, really isolating, which is why I said that it's not necessarily a moral failing to not have any friends, because like sometimes the people around you just are not the best type of people. And then what do you do in that way, you know?
Well, shout out to globalization. Yeah, their friends online.
I always feel like my girlies on Discord,
which is also crazy. This is why I'm saying, how do y'all ain't got no friends? I mean, sometimes people they're awkward online too. I don't know. No, listen to me. If somebody tells me they don't have not one friend, there's two things in my head: who hurt you, and two, do you have an antisocial personality disorder?
Like, or not antisocial personality, but they might be just like really extremely shy, you know?
But I'm saying even the super extremely shy people find that outlet online, because nobody can see you. Like, you can say some of them create whole personalities of a different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And some people are proud that they have no friends. Those are people I can't understand. But
I don't think it's a weakness for people to be constantly to be always. I don't think the word I want to use is weakness. I don't think that's the word. I think it's an extreme.
I do feel like the both extremes are weaknesses though. So I will agree with the original poster, because I feel like you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you need to be around people all the time.